Board broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
That's not the intro.
Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning into real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
Man, we're experts. We're
To perfection, expect nothing else. Do you like to make yourself a hot cup of coffee to start your day? We have both whole bean and grounded. Also great for all you iced coffee if not a hot kind of person. Even make yourself a frappe to quench your thirst. The best tasting coffee with espresso. It's only $18.99 plus taxes for a 12-ounce bag. Buy 1 to 5 bags and shipping is only $7. If you spend over $100, shipping is absolutely free.
Hey, good morning. It's Monday, so I hope you got your coffee. Wow, the comments are filling up already as we get to the intro videos. Good morning, Dwayne. Who else we got there? Oh, that's just the normal stuff.
Hey, when did we hire an expert?
What?
Bro, shut up. I'm an expert. What you talking about?
Well, that's just Nick talking, man.
I'm just joking, dude.
You know what's funny? With the intro, I'm sitting listening to the intro, and it's like, I'm Mike the Bear fan. I was like, no, you're not. You're Nick. No, you're an AI. That's not Mike's voice. But yeah, I know we're changing up all the intros. It's kind of funny. But hey, it's Monday. I hope you got your coffee. Get ready for your work week. For those of you who have to go to a job, we had some great games this weekend, fellas. Some great games.
Oh, absolutely. Shit. How about that freaking Commanders and Dallas game?
Dude, I know. I saw the score of that one, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Bro, that run, that spin move that Turpin did to return that kick. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He put his foot out and kicked it back and did a spin move like I'd never seen, faked out everybody and was gone.
Mm-hmm. Bro. That game was insane. There were a couple insane games yesterday.
What about that touchdown pass from Jaden Daniels to McLaurin to tie the game up at 27? You're thinking, and then he missed the extra point, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
And then
heartbreakers, man.
The Panthers took the Chiefs to the wire yesterday. That was a good game. The Texans blew another second half lead. See, I told Lions fans, man, the Texans have done this a lot. And the Lions fans say, oh no, we beat the Texans, the best team, blah blah blah. Dude, they blow second half leads. They've been doing it all year, and they did it again.
They do.
Since on this show, every one of us like to bring up when we're right in the off season about a team. Every one of us was wrong about the Texans. Because let me tell you, and I use these exact words. I thought they had built an absolute juggernaut out there, and holy shit, are they playing crappy?
Opposite of juggernaut.
They're a phenomenal first half team. The second half, they kind of just fade away.
Yep.
I'm not out on them, dude. I think there's still, 6 games left. They'll find themselves in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, they're still going to be in the playoffs, Joe. It's not that, but their problem is simple. They have to figure out how to be a football team in the second half as well as the first half.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm not out on them yet. I think that they'll get it together.
Morning, Fred. Morning, JB. But I mean, it's just like, with like the Lions. When you look at the Lions game with them, and the Lions, look at they came back from 16 down. Give them the credit, right? They came back from a 2-score deficit, but they acted like this was a Texans juggernaut, and it's not. They do this in the second half all the time. So I mean, still give credit to Lions; they deserve it. Give credit where the credit's due. But and no one's touching the Lions these days. They're just freaking like a steamroller. But I mean, just the Texans, man. Like I don't get them. Their first half, they're going to come out and beat the snot out of you. And it's like, okay, we've done what we came to do. We're just going to go take a break now. It's like, what is it, union break time there? I mean, Jesus. I don't get the Texans, man. They gotta do something. They gotta figure something out. And the Dolphins, dude, since Tua's back, the Dolphins are looking like the Dolphins again.
Yeah, but it might be too late for them. I mean, they'd have to go on an incredible run.
Well, let's find out.
They did good yesterday.
Yeah, I'm looking at the standings right now.
I don't think the Dolphins got a shot.
They're in second place in their division.
I was gonna say they're 8th in the standings right now. They're teetering right on the edge of wild card.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're in the hunt.
Granted, they are 2 games behind between 7th place and 8th place.
Yeah.
But they still have a chance.
There's time.
I give it to you. You're right. You got a chance.
Here's the thing of who they got to catch. They got to catch the Bills. That's not happening.
It's not going to happen.
Or they got to catch the Broncos.
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking.
Okay, so all the teams are 2 games ahead of them. It'd be the Texans, the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Broncos. So, yeah. Basically, that's catching the Chargers, the Ravens.
Yeah, Fred,
they're not out of it. They're not out of it, but they're playing great ball with Tua back. I mean, that's a whole different ball team when Tua's playing. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, but how long are they going to be able to keep him upright? That's the question.
Well,
one hit to the dome. That's all.
Just don't let him tackle anyone.
Yeah, there you go, Ken. That
needs
to be first and foremost what the coaches say to him at every practice, before every game, and at halftime. Don't tackle anybody for any reason.
And bubble wrap his helmet.
The Lions did what we thought the Lions would do yesterday, even though it was funny. At the beginning of the games yesterday, the first game break they do was the Lions, and they scored a touchdown, and it's like, wait, they were losing 3-0? What the hell? And then you see the next game break, and it was like 7-6. You're like, is this thing a game over there in Indianapolis? And then, of course, the Indy just kind of died after that. But it was like, early on, you're like, oh, wait, there could be a football game in Indy. It's like, nope, never mind.
No.
False alarm, nothing to see here.
I think the Lions need to hurry up and lose another game, though. Because I just they're on a run, and it just gives me that vibe of they win out and then they lose in the first round of the playoffs because they forgot what losing feels like. I don't know. If I were them, I would go ahead and drop one more. It's not going to hurt you.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Dawn. Yeah, I mean, that's a team. That's the thing about team sports, right? With playoff situations, you don't want to peak too early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're hitting on all cylinders. Now, can you maintain that for the next 3 months? Right, December, January, and February is what you got to maintain. And what's left in November. So I mean,
quit hating, Joe.
That's it. No, Joe brings up a good question though, because like, look at. I mean, you could win out. It's not to say it hasn't happened that teams don't have one-loss seasons and then win the Super Bowl. It happens, obviously, but I get where Joe's coming from because more times than not, you know what I mean. More times than not, they lose that game in week 17 or something, and then they come to playoffs and they're deflated. Like don't have a Bears Commanders Hail Mary game in week 17. You know what I mean? Lose some kind of heartbreaker at the end of the season. I get where Joe's coming from, man. Like you don't want to peak too early.
There's precedent, man. Look at the Packers when they went 15-1.
Yeah.
Look at the Vikings, right? Like when they were on that long ass run and then they won and done. Like, I'm just saying, if I'm the Lions, like it seems
New
like
England,
you're peaking
shit.
right now. You might want to drop one more game just so you remember what losing feels like, and then you go in hungry instead of going in there on a 10-11 game winning streak and like all of a sudden you get surprised. That's all. It's not hating. If anything, I'm actually like giving them solid advice. Like,
well, and here's the thing: like, depending, let's say you're the number one seed, okay, and then but the team you get in your first playoff game is the team that's like just hot. You know what I'm saying? Like they scorched. They're coming in hot. You know what I'm saying? They got hot at the right time there, and like look at the 7-9 Giants that won the Super Bowl against the undefeated Patriots. Right? They got hot at the right time and got in the playoffs. You know, I mean, that's always like we'll look at the Bears or look at the Packers in 2010. They're the other great example. Let's use the Packers as an example of the opposite. The Packers got super hot at the end of 2010. They were not going to make the playoffs. If they lose week 8, week 16, was it 16 weeks at that time? Yeah, it was still 16 games at that time. If they lose week 17 or game 16 to the Bears, right, they're out. They're not even making the playoffs. They beat the Bears in a great game that the Bears half-assed because we're resting our starters, right? And then they go to Atlanta the next week and completely destroy them. And then they ran through the playoffs, ran through the Super Bowl, and took it all home because they got hot at the end and they tore through everyone. They tore through everyone. So, it's more you got to watch that team that gets hot in the next starts to get hot in the next 2 or 3 weeks and starts burning it up. So like I get where Joe's coming from with the Lions. Like you're not going to be able to maintain this. Are you better off taking a loss in week 16, 17 before you get into playoffs and just I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But
because I actually wouldn't mind seeing the Lions win it all. To be honest with you, I'm not a hater. Like JB gets mad because I like but.
I was going to say, well, and from that final take from Joe.
Yeah. Good night, Tony, Joe.
I mean, I root for teams that have never won a Super Bowl before. Like I would like to see the Bengals win one too. Like their fan base deserves it.
How do you feel
the
about that?
The only people I don't ever want to see win Super Bowls is like the Chiefs and the Niners. Like
I'm with you on those two.
So and then let's like another game. We'll get to the Packers and the Bears in a bit, but like let's talk about the Eagles, man. Like, dude, they're talking about a team that's starting to get hot, and Saquon the last 2 weeks is just taking over games, man. He had 255 yards rushing him, 255 yards, and last week he had what, like over 200 last week too. I mean, and last week he broke off long touchdown runs. This week. The last touchdown run was funny. He broke it. He's running. He's like, kind of looks back like he's like, oh crap, I'm by myself again. It's like Saquon is just killing it.
Yeah, Saquon's on another freaking planet this year.
And the Eagles have like from the way they started the season, like they really hit the ground running, dude. Like,
oh yeah,
they got their ship right and they're doing their damn thing, dude.
Yeah, I honestly expected with them going from the East Coast to West Coast and the Rams being an up and down team that this was going to be one of the games where the Rams showed right out, but the Eagles completely whooped them.
Well, I wouldn't say they whooped them. It was a tight game until halfway through the third, and then Saquon said, "Here, hold my beer, guys."
That's where the whooping comes into play.
Because, I mean, dude, like, Stafford still does Stafford things, and he did some Stafford things in that first half. I mean, that one for the Puka was like, are you, everyone was like, are you kidding me? I mean, he still does things that make you just go, God damn, this is why he was the number one pick, right? I mean, Stafford, and they're still in it, aren't they? And the Rams are still in it for their division.
Yeah, because
that division is a muddled mess.
Yeah, because of Arizona losing, there's a 3-way tie at the top of the division. The only one that's a game back is the 49ers.
Wouldn't it be funny if the Rams go to the Lions in the for the playoffs and beat the Lions? Stafford comes back and gets his revenge. If they're peaking, because look at the Rams peak, we're getting hot coming in the playoffs last year. Wouldn't it be kind of funny if you kind of get a repeat of that this year?
Oh yeah, it'd definitely be an interesting game for storyline wise, and maybe this time there won't be a non-called pass interference.
I mean, come on, the NFL, that's kind of stuff that they get all up for. Like, ooh, think of it. The marketing team is like salivating at that idea. I mean, Jesus, the marketing team would have a field day with Stafford goes back to Detroit in the playoffs again. I mean,
and speaking of throwing into double and triple coverage, JB, I'm here to announce the streak of Jordan Love throwing an interception in a game has finally come to an end.
Oh, hold on a second. I got something. Hold on. I knew you were going to bring that up, and I'm sorry. I was, still drinking my coffee when you said it, but where is it at? Here we go. It had to end sometime.
No, it didn't have to end. I'm just glad that it did. Shit. But there is a new streak going on in the NFL.
He tried to keep it going though, bro. He really did.
Oh yeah, he did.
So it wasn't for lack of trying, is what you're saying?
Yeah, he tried, bro. He threw it to him twice. Those guys had their hands on it twice, and they just couldn't pull it down. They had their hands on it.
But we do have a new streak going on in the NFC North now. It's how many teams can block Bears kicks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Santos did an interview. I didn't get to read the full article, but he said, look, he said he took the blame, which he shouldn't have, but he did. But after they blocked it, they changed after that first block, which everyone was like, okay. They changed the protection scheme for the rest of the kicks, and it was fine. They swapped out the left tackle, I believe is what it was, and then they were fine. It's like, okay, yeah. I mean that sucked. Everyone was like, "Are you kidding me?" But they swapped out the protection on it. Look, the Bears special teams had an interesting day yesterday. I guess you guys want to talk about the Bears, so we'll talk about the Bears. I mean, but don't be sitting there bitching at me. All you guys talk about is the Bears. Well, you wanted it. Here we go. So
I was going to say I brought up one thing.
No, but the chat. That's all they want to do. Oh, Bears. That's why
they're all over in the chat. They want to talk about it.
I ignore the chat while we're talking about all the other games because these guys like JB wants to talk about the Lions. I'm like, cool, JB. At 11 a.m. you can talk about the Lions for an hour, right? I just wanted to go through the other games before we get to those games because then what happens is we spend the rest of the show on one game. But no, look at Bears special teams. Like they blocked that first kick. It's like okay, whatever. Then DeAndre Carter calls the poison, right? Tells everyone to get away. Then he's the guy who touches the damn ball. Now look at if the Bears didn't have bad luck, we wouldn't have any luck at all. It seems sometimes. And it's like, dude, you call poison, get the fuck out of there. And the ball takes a wonky bounce and hits him in the leg. Like, that sucked. But then DeAndre Carter had a great return to set him up in the fourth quarter for that drive. And then the Bears did something no other team in the NFL has done this year. Recovered the onside kick.
No, there were already like one or two onside.
Yeah, there's already been one.
That's what I thought too, Ken. But then every single sportscaster on Fox, CBS, and Red Zone said the first one of the year. I'm like, and then I just didn't go back to look at tape. I swore there was another one.
Yeah, there was at least one. I saw at least
I
one.
was going to say I watched one of them.
Yeah, I watched one myself. I can't remember what game it was, but
like we were looking at this, like when we were talking last week before the game, right? And I said, look, the Bears have the number 1 red zone, and I think Rob, you're like, no, they don't. They're number 2. Yesterday on Fox again, Bears have the number 1 red zone percentage in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I said they got the number 1 red zone. I'm not.
No, someone said no, they had number 2 and told us what the team was.
They had the number 1 red zone when you were playing us. I knew that then going into it. You
had no. But I think you read the stat last week, and I said, okay, fine.
Oh, I read a stat that was wrong. I swear that happened. There's always people posting wrong stats.
I was like, wait a minute, no, they aren't. So yeah, I didn't think it was the first one because I was in Bears Twitter, and I said, yeah, there's only been like 2 recoveries, and then on the TV, like, oh my God, the first recovery of the season. I was like, really? I thought there was like 2 others, but
there's been a few times this year that these TV personalities have put out horrible information that was proven false, right after they said it.
See, Luca, thank you. They keep saying 0 this year. Thank you, Luca. Because I swear, CBS. Oh, no one's recovered. Oh my God, the Bears! And even like on NBC last night in the pregame for Sunday Night Football, the Bears recovered the first one of the season. I'm like, no, I swore there was like 1 or 2 in like week 2 or 3 or somewhere around there. I mean, it was like, but yeah, that dude. Look at Sarah. Congrats on the win. But like yesterday, Rob was trying to flex on X. I'm like, dude, your team gave up a 2-score lead with 27 seconds left in the game.
They almost
really don't have much to flex about when you gave up a 2-score lead with 27 seconds left in the game.
But this is twice now. The same thing happened to you guys. But go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
Oh, I said we got a Bill sighting in the chat.
Oh, but this is 2 weeks in a row, man. Where you guys choked it.
Have you guys been hearing the rumors that supposedly Rodgers might be going to the 49ers because they might not want to pay Purdy the kind of money he's looking for?
Well, look, that's Rodgers' dream, right? He's a San Francisco kid. I mean, he grew up there. So, I mean, that's his dream to go home.
Yeah, but from a football standpoint, that makes 0 sense. Like, you have a young quarterback who's won you a lot of games, and now all of a sudden he's having a down year. You don't want to pay him $45-50 million a year, but you're going to go pay Aaron Rodgers $50 million a year?
Oh, Rodgers ain't going to make $50 million a year for this next game.
I think Rodgers goes to a hometown discount if he goes to San Francisco. I think he's like, dude, I'll go for 20 just to go there at this point. And he's got the money.
And then there's a major part that we're not including in it. Shanahan has tried to get Rodgers as his quarterback for years now. So this could be one of those that he's checking a box type of thing of, hey, I finally got Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, if Rodgers goes to San Fran, I mean, and let's say they re-sign Purdy. So if you re-sign Purdy and you also get Rodgers, who's your starter?
With the way Shanahan loves Rodgers
ain't going to sit on the bench.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's going to be Rodgers that he would start. I honestly don't know if they're going to re-sign Purdy from some of the things that I've heard.
That's just crazy, dude.
I didn't say I agreed with it. I just said I've been hearing a lot.
But I mean, look at, isn't that understandable? Look at the guy was Mr. Irrelevant in the draft. Great. We know the great story, right?
No.
But when you stack him up against other starting quarterbacks, is Purdy really elite, or does he have elite people around him that make him look good?
Yeah, I wouldn't give him insane money, but I definitely wouldn't let him walk out the door either.
Right.
Yep.
He's a serviceable starter, yes, for sure. Especially with top, because dude, I am so sorry. 49er fans got to be livid on these kick return penalties.
You're gonna let go of the guy who just took you to the Super Bowl last year. For the corpse of Aaron Rodgers? Come on, dude.
I mean, dude, like what? In 2 plays, in back-to-back returns, the flags cost the Niners over 82 yards in penalty yards. Debo, I'm sorry, worth every penny they're paying him. But like, that team has got so much stud around it, that I'm sorry, Purdy's going to look good. But I mean, yeah, if you bring Aaron Rodgers, it's like, hey, Purdy, why don't you like park it for the season and just be ready for when Aaron eventually gets hurt and learn. I mean, but look at it's a good learning experience for Purdy because like, who's Purdy had to learn from?
Shanahan.
Yeah, which isn't bad. I mean, Shanahan's a good coach. He's proven over time. He can't win a Super Bowl. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's gonna be if Rodgers goes to San Fran. That's gonna be and then fucking.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say if the Niners actually do proceed forward with that madness, their window closes the minute Aaron Rodgers signs that contract. Their window closes.
No, watch. It'll somehow be all of our luck that Rodgers goes there and turns back the clock 5 years and starts playing like he's freaking immortal.
Stop. Don't even say stuff like that.
Well, look at there's precedent once again. Look at Favre. Favre goes to the Jets. They don't do great. He goes to the Vikings, takes them to the NFC Championship game? Is that when they lost the final with Favre? I mean, the Jets is just where good players go to die. Jets are where veterans go to die. And then they go, well, this sucked. New York wasn't as good as I thought it would be. And they go somewhere else, and then they play good again. I mean, it's like, that's just the Jets. That's the way they operate.
I mean, if you're really gonna do that, then you might as well get Devontae too. You might as well go trade Debo and trade Debo to the Jets for some sort of package like where you can get Devontae. Offer him Debo for Devontae, and you might as well go all in, dude.
I would never offer.
No
Debo.
way in hell I'm getting rid of Debo if I'm them.
Yeah, no.
But they already put him on the trade block last year. That's the thing.
Yeah, but
that was last year when apparently they had their heads firmly planted up their asses.
Well, no, wasn't he trying to?
This past game should have been enough to tell them that Debo is one of the guys that you need to keep on this roster. He almost kept them in that game him damn self.
And now they've got him on a long-term deal. They're not shipping Debo out.
Now Ayuk, on the other hand, once he gets healthy, maybe it's time for him to go.
It's not.
Well, either way, I mean, if they could trade Ayuk to the Jets and get Devontae, you might be cooking with something because then you'd have Devontae and Debo and McCaffrey, and Kittle still.
I wouldn't rule it out that once they release Aaron Rodgers, that Devontae Adams just starts walking into the building and screaming in everybody's ear until they cut him.
And Sarah, yeah, that's what we were saying earlier. I know there was a onside kick recovered at some point earlier in the season. It's just the broadcast teams on all the networks like, oh my God, look what they did, And it's like no one's done it. Like even I was thinking like, yeah, that's not right. It's not right. I don't know.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's just like.
Look, man. Even if he does go to the Niners, man, it's not. They're out of it for this year, man. Last night killed them.
Well, I was going to say this year, yeah, but next year it'd be when I'd be worried about.
Are they though? They're tied for first place in that wonky ass division.
Did you not see the stat? If they lost yet last night, it was like a 11% chance or something that they make the playoffs or something.
Yeah, they're now fourth in their division. It's the other three teams that are tied at first.
Yeah,
and I think you're wrong.
It was ridiculous. They needed to win last night. They didn't
there it is. Yeah. Yeah, but
I think you're wrong. I do not want Rodgers. I want us to stay as far away from Rodgers as possible.
Here's the NFC West. Seahawks are 65. Cardinals are 65. Rams are 5-6. Niners are 5-6. They're out. It's a one-game difference.
Yeah, but I know Arizona.
Schedule, blah blah blah. I get
Arizona had already beat them, and I'm pretty sure Seattle already beat them too.
Yeah. Okay. So what if they would? But we're talking about for division win, though. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Well, division. Yeah, in the division, the Seahawks are 2-2. Cardinals are 2-1. Rams are 2-1. And here's the kicker. This is where it comes in. There we go. Upon further review, the Niners are 1-3 in the division. So that's the kicker right there. So someone owns a tie break. They beat them twice. Yeah. Or no, wait, they've lost each team at least once.
Yep.
I would look back at the wins and losses. In the conference, they have the same. All three teams have 3-1 wins in the conference. So conference record, they're all virtually the same right now. The Seahawks and Cardinals are each 3-4. The Rams and the Niners are 3-5.
That division just looks freaking terrible.
Dude, it's a mathematical. Well, look at the South isn't much better.
Oh yeah,
The Falcons are 6-5 on a 2-game losing streak. The Bucks are now 1 game out at 5-6.
Now you. This is where Tampa really has to hope they win that other game against Atlanta, because holy shit, they might still lose the division and be the best team in the division, because Atlanta just looks like they're falling on their faces.
They do. They're not looking great.
Well,
then you
but
look,
if they finish a game ahead, they win the division anyway. Division record only matters when you finish with a tied record.
well, yeah, the tie.
So-
Yeah. And tonight we got the Ravens.
So if the Bucks can win one more game than the Falcons, then they'll go to the playoffs. They'll have the division title.
And tonight we got the Ravens and the Chargers. So the Chargers are in second place at 7-3. The Chiefs are 10-1, and the Ravens are second place at 7-4. If they win today, the Steelers will be 8-3. The Ravens will be 8-4.
Half game back. Ooh-wee.
I mean, this is the great thing about this time of year. It's starting to get interesting with some of these division races and the seeding races. But the West is such a freaking. I get it. Okay, 11%, but they win next week. All of a sudden, the odds go to 38% for the stupid number. You know, these NBC, CBS, Fox gurus. I mean, it's like these are the same gurus who said the Bears recovered the first onside kick of the season last year.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you know, yeah.
Yeah, with all the run stats that they're all handing out, how long do you think it's till we get our call from the networks?
No, I mean, at least we get better stats. But some of our fan base, like look at Bill and Bill Jr. in the comments don't really help with the fan base. I mean, yeah, okay, let's go. Go Pack Go is John Dorn, obviously. Done.
I would say Bill.
But Bill. So Bill's on 2 accounts at once. That's how sad he is while he's laid up from surgery. Hope to recover well, but you're still a moron. Okay. Does anyone here think Caleb Williams is a bust besides Bill?
I wouldn't say he's bust yet because the first season.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a bust.
Yeah. He's not having a great rookie season like a lot of people assume that he would because of what he went into.
I think he is having a rookie season.
He's Marcus Russell, yeah.
I think Shane Waldron set him or slowed him down until we got rid of him and promoted Thomas Brown, because under Thomas Brown, he is looking like the kid we thought we were drafted. Did you see that throw to DeAndre Swift in the first quarter, in the first half, when he rolled out and just dropped that little dime in the basket? It was like, and I love the quote. So they asked him, like, what's the difference between Shane Waldron and Brown? And he said, well, the plays coming, some of it was like, all the plays coming faster, I like the way this. And then he tells me at times, just go be Superman. So the OC tells his quarterback, his rookie quarterback yesterday in the fourth quarter, hey, coach, what's the play? Just go be Superman. Bet. 27 seconds, 2-score lead erased. I mean,
bro, I love the comeback, but then they get into overtime, they get the fucking ball, and then they fucking go 3 and out. What the fuck?
Caleb, look, if that sack was 100% on Caleb. That kid, he held the ball, 5 seconds, 6 seconds? And dude, you got to get rid of it. And he took that huge sack when he should have just gotten rid of it. That sack was on Caleb, and that's Caleb being a rookie. You know,
Yeah,
I
I'm saying
mean,
he's having a rookie season. That's what he's having.
Yep.
But it's not. He's not like all these Bear fans expect him to come out and be playing like a veteran. No, he's a rookie.
Bears fans. Okay, I'm just going to read you guys what I posted on X yesterday. Because first off, we're the most toxic fan base in football that's not called New York. Okay, we just are, and that's fine. It's Chicago. It's what we are. And this is a little bit long, but I'll read it to you guys, and I think you'll see where I'm coming from. And I think this, for Bears fans, this kind of makes some sense. And then here's what I said. I said I'm looking at this when Theo took over the Cubs. This is a process, and Poles' approach to this such. He and Kevin Warren are not looking at it like the fans do. They are looking at certain things and marks to be hit, and as long as they hit those marks, players and coaches will be retained. We have already seen the Bears let go coaches and players that did not meet the mark that have been set or hindered the team from attaining improvement. We have draft capital. We can address needs with 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, and I added, I think it's all in the trenches in rounds 1 and 2. Our coaches, and this is the contentious part, Poles has stated several times he wants to break the cycle of draft a QB and fire a coach after 1 season. We fired the OC and promoted from within, and the results have been great so far. Overall, the team is in every game for the most part and headed in the right direction. Now, as plus part of that direction, the players seem to rally around him and play hard for him. They respect him, and he's accountable for his mistakes, which goes a long way with the players. Hindsight is always 20/20, but if there's any complaint if there is any complaint, it's that he is being too cautious at times. But if this team continues to show improvement for the remainder, then I think Poles makes 0 changes in the coaching staff except to make Brown the OC permanently. That gives Caleb stability and breaks the cycle, but plus would be on the hottest of hot seats next season if the Bears don't make the playoff run. I could see him pulling the trigger and a new staff brought in. Plus, it's kind of like Phil Jackson.
Sure he's gone.
Well, hold on, Rob.
No
plus, it's kind of like Phil Jackson, his approach, and not like Ditka. We have, Ditka had the fire, but we have trouble with calm in Chicago, cool and collected. But I said this a few weeks ago that Walter needed to be Doug Collins, and he wasn't. Coach Brown is Doug Collins to Lucius Jackson. So I hate to say this, but be patient this season and make your expectations more about the long term than just this season, as this is a multi-year process. Something Poles told us. I think we just got overexcited because of the moves that we made this year as part of that process, and that's understandable. And that's what I put out there because look at Poles told us this is a multi-year project, and I think as Bears fans, a lot of them got overexcited because we made a lot of big moves in the offseason, and they're thinking, this has to be it. This is a multi-year project. That's where I think the Bears are at. And that's why I posted on Bears Twitter yesterday. Because, dude, after the first block kick, it was fire the entire staff, get rid of the GM, get rid of the president of football operations, sell the team, the ownership sucks. It's like, come on, guys.
No, man, nobody needs to do that. They just need a new coach. Eberflus ain't the guy. You guys got a great quarterback. You guys got something to build on. This guy's not your answer, man. He's clearly not your answer.
Who is?
Maybe the OC you got, but it ain't Eberflus, bro. It ain't Eberflus. Ken, you're the only guy that sees that.
Too early. It's too early to. You just promoted him from a position.
Can I give you the number one reason, if I'm a Bear fan, why I say Eberflus ain't it? He has never fucking won a road game on a Sunday in his entire 3 years he's been there. I cannot believe he's never won a road game. How? When you play on Sunday predominantly throughout the season, that you don't win a fucking road game. That's crazy in 3 seasons.
I mean, Rob, look, I get that. Rob, I understand that. And I look at that, and and look, as fans, that's what we see. But that's not what Poles and Warren necessarily see. They take more into account than we do. We look at wins and losses, right? They look at everything else. We just look at the win-loss number and call it a day. They look at a lot more. Now, look at we got a 3-game road trip. Okay, let's say Flus breaks that. Let's say we roll. Well, I don't I don't think
I
we're
hope
winning
that.
Detroit
I mean,
this
you
weekend.
have to at
Let's say
least
we
start
win
with
one of
that.
the next 3 games on the road or 2 of the next 3 games on the road. That changes that narrative. So you've got time in the season. And like I said, Poles and Warren are looking for certain benchmarks, certain improvements. Obviously, that's probably, you would think that might be part of it when you're in an away game. So let's say in the remainder of this season, which we got like 4 road games, let's say we go 2-2 in these last 4 road games. Then they could say, okay, well, that they're starting to hit that mark. Yeah. So I think that's where he's at. But the overall bottom line for me is this on this whole thing with Flus. And Poles has already stated, like I said in that comment, he wants to break the cycle of draft a quarterback and fire the head coach after a season. Right? If Flus doesn't lose that locker room, I think Poles is going to do what Poles is saying he's going to do. I have no reason not to believe that Poles is going to do what he says he's going to do. Because Poles has done what he said he's going to do every time. He's done it. He said, this is what I'm going to do, and he does it. And then people act shocked that he did what he said he's going to do.
And when did you read this art? When did this article come out? Was this before the season, or was this
like? No, he said even a couple weeks ago. He even said like 2 weeks ago. It was like, what about Flus? He said he's retained next season. I'm breaking the cycle.
You said this before the 4-game losing streak?
Yeah, well, in the 4-game. Look at these last 2 games, man. You look at these last 2 games, and he's probably looking like, okay. So if you look at the Packers' loss, a blocked field goal, well, how was that a bad coaching decision? Right? If you look at yesterday, what was the bad coaching decision that cost them the game? And also, we're not a zero defect anything, right? No one is. So, I mean, Flus made mistakes yesterday. He said, yeah, I made a mistake on this one. I made a mistake on that one. I need to address that. I didn't communicate this play. I didn't communicate this intention well enough like I normally do. That was my mistake. So, I mean, coaches make mistakes. Great. But people want zero defect. Dude, you're not going to get zero defect. Sorry. It does not exist. So, there's still the rest of the season. I'm not saying he's not going to be fired, but I'm saying right now the odds are the Bears retain him because of what Poles is saying. And as long as he has that locker room squarely behind him like he does now, like, look, if John Gruden became available, I don't care what Poles has said. I'd be like, fire the motherfucker now and get me John Gruden. I mean, that's me personally. I love Gruden, though. But
I was going to say I wouldn't argue with you about Gruden.
But when it comes to like this, because here's the problem. If you fire Flus, you're firing Brown, you're firing the entire coaching staff in effect. You're starting from scratch because how many head coaches come in and say, yeah, I'm going to be your new head coach, and Bears fans will want an offensive-minded head coach, right? We want, what's his name from Detroit? Okay, do you think he's going to keep your current OC that you like now? No. He's going to get rid of him. You're going to need you're going to have a new head coach, a new DC, a new OC. Who knows if that means now you're changing defensive scheme, but now you're changing your offensive scheme again. So from that standpoint, too, Poles is looking at it, look, if I keep what I've got, and it's not like the Bears defense are the 28th defense in the league. They're top 15 defense still. They got some things they need to fix, though. Not saying they don't. The offense has shown massive improvement the last 2 weeks under Brown. What's the big move to this Bears team is a team that's driving the edge right.
Can I ask you this? Have they shown improvement, or have they just started to play up to their potential? Because, I mean, you were up and down the first 5 or 6 games with the other guy,
with Waldron.
Yeah,
I think the players' skill level masked some of the issues with Waldron in some cases. But no, I think they're improving overall as a team. I mean, the last 2 weeks, you can't tell me this is not a much improved Bears team. They're much better.
Well, I think Caleb's improved. I think that they've turned him loose. I agree with you. I think Waldron was just using Caleb wrong, not letting him run, not turning him loose, not letting him read the. Because I mean, bro, he started running against us and it was very effective. And I mean, I don't know why they didn't do that early.
It's what the thing on Shane Waldron is. I said this yesterday. If someone said Shane Waldron should never get another job in the NFL because look what Brown is doing with the Bears offense since they got rid of him. And I said, Shane Waldron, this is his offense design, right? Let's not get that twisted. He can design a great offense, he just can't call it. That's my rub on Waldron. He designed a good offense. He just couldn't call his own offense.
I don't think he knows how to handle a rookie quarterback. I think that was part of it.
He probably doesn't know how to he doesn't. The complaints we had from the offense was the play calls came in late. And then let's look at the play call. Because look at this is Shane Waldron's offense that we ran the last 2 weeks. It's not like they installed a whole new offense. Tell me the offense has not had better play calling and looked better the last 2 weeks than it did all season under Waldron with play calling in total. Not just one great drive here.
I'm not saying it hasn't. Something, I mean, I agree. I think something's changed. And you guys have probably had the opportunity to change it sooner. It's just, honestly, bro, I'm telling you, it's coaching. The first half of last year, I don't think LaFleur knew what to do, how to coach Jordan Love, how to coach a rookie quarterback. He really struggled with it in the early part of last year. Having Rodgers all those first 3 years made it easy for him. You know,
this is the Bears team that's on the edge. You know what I'm saying? They're on that edge of like they're a team that's somewhat ascending, and they're on that edge of a breakthrough, and they haven't broken through yet. Like yesterday, you could touch it, you could feel it, like, oh, they're almost there. The Packers game, same thing, right? They're almost there. I mean, come on, we had a lead on the Packers in the fourth quarter with under a minute left. When was the last time that happened? Right? We erased a 2-score deficit in 27 seconds against an 8-2 team yesterday. When was the last time that happened? You can they're on that precipice and they just haven't. So that's what I'm saying. When you look at it from that other level of thinking that Foles and Warren and what they're all looking at, that's why like fans can say, "Oh, but we didn't get the win, so fire the coach." But they're looking at the entirety of everything that's going on right now. They don't care about 2 seasons ago with a bunch of different players that aren't even on the roster now, nearly as much as they care about what's going on this season with this roster, this locker room, and what's going on in that locker room and what the performances are becoming. Right? That's what they care about. The other history stuff is great for fans to argue about. It's great when JB wants to trash talk on here, right? It's great. It's great fodder for that, but that's not what they look at.
Where's JB trash? I see.
JB comes in all the time to talk his Bears trash because that's what he has to do for the first time in his life. The Lions aren't the laughing stock of the NFL.
Not JB. Not
so,
just JB.
You know, but yeah, Fred, they're an ascending team. You can't say that with the last 2 weeks of game. I mean, how many teams in the NFC North have erased a 2-score deficit with 27 seconds left in the game? How many? Oh, wait, one, Fred.
I mean, you guys have all the reasons to be optimistic. I 100% agree with you, Ken. I see why Bear fans want to be optimistic.
Yep.
I mean, Caleb's the best quarterback you've had in a long time.
I agree. Best
bro.
Ever drafted.
I'm not saying he's not, and he's going to get better. If he's already playing, he's not turning the ball over, which is amazing to me.
Yeah,
he's not giving the ball up. I mean, he's holding it too long, but he's not giving it up.
His last turnover was what? Jacksonville game? London was his last turnover.
I mean,
and so like now look at, are there other scenarios in which I could see Foles getting rid of Flus because of Caleb? Yes, because Caleb has already shown he's not your normal rookie quarterback in certain ways. They put a lot on his plate this year, and he's taken a lot on. Right? He doesn't act like your normal rookie. He still does some rookie things. Don't get me wrong, but if he feels Caleb's the kind of quarterback that they can replace a coaching regime with and have it not negatively affect him or not affect him too much, then fine. But if by the end of the season, this Bears team keeps on this track, it's been the last 2 weeks, and like, dude, these are heartbreaking games to lose, but you're also showing you're right there. It's not like you're getting blown out 43-15. You know what I mean? You're right there. So if the Bears are there, it makes it harder for Foles in his decision-making process to jettison what's working or starting to work. But like if Gruden's available, okay, do you take Gruden and does Gruden change your offense and defense? And Gruden's always a very complicated offense. That's the other thing you got to look at. What are your coaching options? Like right now, what are my coaching options right now today if I fire Flus? What's out there? We don't know if Ben Johnson's out there.
I hope
we
you
don't know
guys
if Ben
don't smack
Johnson's
the
in.
Lions. I hope you smack the Lions. I'm pulling for you.
Oh, let the Lions fans sleep on the Bears.
I hope you fucking smack them, bro.
We'll talk War Week as we go on. But I mean, without talking War Week, let's just hypothesize for a minute. Let's say the Bears-Lions game is another nail-biter, one-score game, right? The Lions, who've been destroying everyone, let's say they beat the Bears by a field goal or only a touchdown.
I still think you have to win at least 3 or 4 out of these ending games to keep Flus around. I think if you finish under 7, he's got to go.
I agree.
I mean, and Ken, let's look at this. Could we beat the Packers in Green Bay? Yeah, we could beat you in Green Bay, right? We just showed we have the it's going to be a game. Can we beat the Vikings in a couple weeks in Minnesota? Yeah, we could probably we obviously after yesterday. Yeah, you can make the argument, right? Can we beat the 49ers? Well, the way you guys beat them yesterday, that's not outside the realm of possibility. Can we beat the Seahawks? That'll be a home game. That will be interesting because Seahawks are hot right now, right? So we've got, 5 games left, right?
Well, we got lucky that they were beat up, man. That's the only reason we smacked them so hard.
So, yeah, but it's not like they're not going to be beat. It's not like they're getting super healthy playing games every week. But we get them in 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks we get them. Yeah, because we go to Detroit, then we got the mini bye, and then we go to San Francisco. And then we get the Vikings again. So I mean, look at it. They've been in games, and even if they're, and I get what you're saying, Ken, but if they're losing on walk-off field goals or whatever weirdness, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't think it's absolutely positively necessary for both, because he's not. The win-loss is always, fans. That's what we look at. GMs don't necessarily look at just win.
And I get what you're saying too about that at least you're close in the games and not getting demolished, but that could be, to me, more of a reason to get rid of the coach, because you have the talent to be winning these games, and it could be that they see it as it's the coach that's leaving you down a few points at the end, that hey, he didn't make the best decisions in the game for X, Y, and Z play or whatever, and that's what cost you the short ones. So
and here's the other thing that you need to think about, right? What are your options to replace the coach with? So, just because you don't like, you're losing close games. Oh well, maybe he's costing us 3 points. Okay, great. Now if I hire Coach X, does he get me over the hump? Just to fire a guy and put a new guy in because he's, doesn't mean anything if the guy you replace him with, McDaniels, anyone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've seen that before. Well, this coach isn't again. We'll bring in, the Bears have done it. We're bringing in John Fox. He's going to take us to the next level. They regress. Look at what's happened what happened in Las Vegas when they made that coaching change. They regress. So you've got to also have the right coach available to replace the one you're getting rid of. And so it's not just get rid of Eberflus to get rid of Eberflus because all you non-Bears fans want to get rid of him. It's you get rid of Eberflus if there's a better option, and B, he's not hitting your marks.
It might be a defensive guy, but I would seriously take a look at Vrabel for your coaching. He's a proven winner in the league. Now, granted, he lost the team at the end, but he was there for a very long time.
Yeah, if Brown works out as OC and we want to keep him as OC and keep the offense, is he willing to keep the OC? I think that's another.
I was going to say you have a way better chance at that if you have a defensive minded coach. Because
I agree with you.
We've seen that. I think the only one that I can think of in recent memory that got hired on and kept the OC was Mike McCarthy. but that was also because there were questions about Mike McCarthy's offense.
Yep. So, I mean, there's a lot of variables. It's not just fire Flus to fire Flus. There's a lot of variables that go in there. So, like, well, Fred, you guys keep talking about the Bears, and the second we come on, and then you get mad because we talk about the Bears. So pound sand this morning on that, Fred. But pound sand, you asked for it, you got it.
Hey,
you might not have, Fred,
go. I'll gladly be a coach of one of these teams. I'd even coach the Bears, even with how much I hate them.
So, I mean, I really think, though, when it comes to polls, he's not going to worry about the last couple seasons. He's going to look at this season. He's going to look at the first half, how they operated, what mistakes were made. Then he's going to look at the post-Waldron, right? And he's from the last 2 weeks, or the last 8 weeks of the season, which is the post-Waldron. He's going to look at how Flus has performed, how Brown has performed, how players have performed, what the locker room is like, and that's how he's going to make his decision. He's not making his decision because of the Justin Fields era. He's not making his decision because Lions fans and Packer fans feel a certain way, or Bears fans even feel a certain way. He's going to make his decision probably on Flus based off the last 8 weeks of this season and the current state of the locker room. If Flus has the locker room and they're playing for him, and there isn't a better option easily identifiable and available, I don't know. I don't think he makes a change because of what he's already said.
That, I think, is the sticking point right there. Is if there's a better option available, you go with that quicker than shit. But if it almost seems like a lateral move,
right,
then screw it at that point. I guess let's see what happens.
I mean, yesterday, like Bears fans, okay, Eberflus has thrown 4 challenge flags this year. He's lost all 4. Only 4. But the challenge flag he threw yesterday, I would have thrown it too, because you're probably taking, after that big play, you're probably taking a timeout anyways to regroup. So throw the flag. It was close-ish. Throw the flag, get the timeout, let your defense recover after that play, and maybe you get lucky and it gets overturned. Because Eberflus has not challenged much at all. 4 challenges this season. That's it. People are like, he makes bad coaches challenges. Well, let's look at them. In almost every case, it was in a situation where you would have probably taken a timeout to let your team recover. Hey, guys, let's talk about this after we just did something we shouldn't have done or whatnot. He was going to take a timeout probably anyways. So throw the flag and maybe you get lucky. Because look, they got lucky on an overturned call yesterday themselves did the Vikings, right? So, hey, I'm probably taking a timeout here anyways. Throw the flag. Fine. Oh, but he didn't run an extra play against the Packers. Why? Why risk the negative play when you got a kicker who you're comfortable with from that range? Hindsight's always 20/20. Well, but then they blocked it. Okay, but that was,
I was going to say they could, if they ran another play, they still could have blocked it, because
come on.
If you listen to our special teams coordinator, he had said that he had saw something in your guys' kicking unit that let him know that he could get one, and that he would have been upset if they didn't get one block on that game.
And credit to the special teams coach after the Vikings blocked the one yesterday. In-game made changes to the protection, and they didn't get another one. But I mean, so there's a lot that goes into this move if they do it. It's not happening till at minimum the end of the season. That's just the way the Bears operate. But he's not going to. He doesn't care about 2 years ago. Foles is going to look at this year, the state of the team at the end of this season, these last 8 weeks, where the locker room is, and what are the options available to it. And like Ken said, if it's a lateral move, they're not going to do it. It's got to be blatantly obvious that this other guy is going to be that much better, and he's going to keep the OC and the offense intact if Brown ends up being the answer. So, no, Luka. It's just I'm sorry. I'm not thinking like some based fan who just looks at the simplistic stat.
That's their opinion. You're putting your opinion out there. They're allowed to.
That's not my opinion, though. This is what Poles has said.
No,
he's going to do, and then I'm adding on top of it.
Okay,
and I'm digging deeper than just the surface.
All right.
I don't know where you got
that,
this back, but
on that note, we want to thank everybody for watching. Especially thank you guys for taking your time to come and comment today.
Yep.
Have yourselves a wonderful day. Enjoy the game tonight.
Oh yeah, there is football.
We will see y'all tomorrow.
No, we're not going to do news. We got a minute left, so I see what you're saying. But yeah, don't forget JB is on after us. Don't forget to be back here tomorrow, and then we got War Week. We'll start talking either tomorrow or Wednesday because I don't know if we're going to do a show on Thanksgiving morning. Probably not, is what I assume. Look, we already lost Rob. Probably not. But everyone enjoy your work week. Enjoy the day for Ken and Rob